This short video will show Don's 10-herb garden made into a 8-foot square raised bed with good soil brought in. Marjoram is one of the principal herbs used in my recipe for Herbs de Provence. And even though oregano is really an Italian herb, most recipes from Provence include a small amount of it. And this moth-eaten plant of basil is the only plant in my garden that a bug or two have gotten to. The last herb to ripen and be ready to harvest will be the seeds of the fennel plant. I have 3 different fennels in my garden, and I don't yet know which I'll harvest for the seeds. I planted the lavender bush outside the confines of the garden itself, but we'll use some of it in the recipe. And another main ingredient in Herbs de Provence is sage, and my several plants will be more than enough. Here's savory that threatens to take over the entire garden. Grows like a weed and has to be harvested constantly. And here's another view of the fennel seeds. And another view of the entire garden from a slightly different angle. We have rosemary surrounding our front block wall out in the front yard, and when dried will be added in small amounts to our herb recipe. I built air drying frames from inexpensive picture frames and then used wire window screening. And here we see some of the fresh basil set into the drying frame to start drying. It takes a lot of tools and equipment to undertake this project, and these airtight plastic bottles hold the accumulated dried herb harvest, and here's the calculations that tell me how much in both volume and weight for each of the herbs. Then there are the tools of the trade, with the herb mincer that makes it so much easier to pulverize the dried herbs and the herb snips to harvest them. I just couldn't resist a pumpkin on the outer edge of the garden so it can spread outside of the herb space, and boy is it growing. The family can look forward to receiving a reasonable quantity of my Herbs de Provence soon.